The updated Wizened Rebuke from Iron Banner has to be the most decked fusion rifle I have ever used in Destiny 2. 24-meter one bursts with the option to fire nearly as fast as a rapid fusion on your first shot or your follow-up shots. It can be your sniper and it can be your shotgun. No other fusion can do anything like this, not even Glacioclasm, so let's get into what makes the Wizened Rebuke so special. After spending thousands of legendary shards, RNG has blessed me with my god roll for PvP. I'm gonna dive into why you want it, but I'll also point out some other things to look out for in case your roll isn't perfect. I know RNG can be brutal without any double perks dropping. If you came here for PvE, honestly, just use Iterative Loop. I'm not going to try to sell you on something that isn't good. While Wizened Rebuke was updated to have Volt Shot, Iterative Loop has the same ridiculously high Volt Shot multiplier as Wizened Rebuke does, like right up there with Two-Tailed Fox, so there is no reason to use it on your slow-firing Wizened. You'll get the same amount of jolt damage from Iterative Loop. Wizened doesn't even have any perks in the third column to help your reload speed for Volt Shot, so it is truly just not worth it. If by chance you just can't get Iterative Loops to drop, but you got a Volt Shot Wizened to drop, you'll want to run Liquid Coils and a Charge Time Masterwork to make that jolt damage even higher. Liquid Coils is a scaler that multiplies your jolt damage, but the Charge Time Masterwork does not. So you can even out your charge time a bit and do more overall damage with a Charge Time Masterwork and Liquid Coils. But for PvP, hot dang, this thing is good. Yeah, Glacioclasm exists with its abnormally high range on top of the first high impact with Offhand Strike, but Glacio is stuck with all the weaknesses of a high impact due to not having any speed perks to combine it with. The Wizened Rebuke gets rid of that weakness, just like you can rid yourself of any Destiny 2 weaknesses by hitting that subscribe button. Wizened has some great stats too. It isn't the absolute best at anything, but it's got the second highest stability stat of all high impacts, and the rest of the stats lie straight in the middle. I would opt for more range anyways on high impact fusion rifles, but with its higher base stability stat, I'm really going to double down and say that the foundation for my god roll should look like this: extended barrel, projection fuse, and a range masterwork. I'm going to run a targeting adjuster mod to help aim assist connect my long range offhand strike shots, so I think extended barrel is a great choice for still extending the range, but also controlling the recoil direction a bit more. This puts you up to 81 range, which is a 19-meter one burst at base, without any of the perks working yet. If this doesn't feel consistent enough for you, you can try more stability if you have it available, but whatever you do, don't run accelerated coils or a charge time masterwork unless you have high impact reserves in the fourth column. At base, high impacts 3 bolt up to 9 resil, and if you do charge time stuff, you're going to make that worse. You can run liquid coils to 3 bolt 10 resil too, but I think the charge time's long enough as it is, and I'm usually hitting at least 4 bolts anyways, so I like putting the most range possible with projection fuse over liquid coils. Now, let's get wild. Offhand Strike. Offhand Strike activates after a kill and lasts for 7 seconds. Just like it does on Royal Executioner or Glacioclasm, the perk pushes your hipfire damage falloff 1.45 times its normal distance, gives you plus 30 stability, makes your accuracy cone size pinpoint accurate, and keeps it small with a 0.95 times scaler on the cone growth. So, summarized, this means that it's a laser beam at abnormally long distances and the bolts don't bounce up when you fire it. In testing, we pushed it to an incredible 24 meters. Even at 25 meters, you could still land all your bolts with that amazing accuracy cone, but the damage falloff becomes too much and you won't have enough damage to get the one burst off. But still, 24 meter one burst. Technically, Glacioclasm can do this further with its 16 zoom, probably pushing 25 meters for the one burst, but the Wizened Rebuke has an amazing fourth column of perks that Glacio doesn't. Let's start with my favorite, and the one I was blessed with this week: Successful Warmup. After a kill, Successful Warmup gives you 6 seconds of an extremely fast 600 charge time for your high impact that is typically a 960 charge time. Speaking plainly, that makes it fire in between the speed of a rapid and an adaptive. So combined with Offhand Strike, you're firing that fast up to 24 meters as well. When I say this is wild, I mean S tier wild. Like, on paper, I knew it was good, and I did a preview video of the Iron Banner loot to look for and knew to tell people about it, but I'm talking wild like it's the most jacked fusion I have ever used in Destiny 2. Unless I'm playing really slow paced, I don't think I'd roll with it in 3s, but in 6s, I'm not sure I'm ever gonna take it off. If you manage to pick up a few bricks from your teammates, there's just no stopping you once you get rolling. I'm amazed with how easy it is to use. Even at base, without any of the perks active, the Wizened Rebuke connects those shots if you can get past the initial charge time. Okay, so what if you just hate that initial charge time? Well, I've got something for you too. This is the Shotgun Sniper. Take the same base we used before, extended barrel, projection fuse, range masterwork with offhand strike, and swap out successful warm-up for backup plan. Backup plan is terrible on most fusions because it nerfs your damage when it gives you the 100 handling and 20% faster charge time, but on high impacts, it just makes it a 4 bolt across the board. Remember, high impacts need 4 bolts to take down 10 Resilient Guardian anyways, so making it 4 bolts no matter what isn't terrible when you're exchanging it for a 672 charge time instead of the usual 960. This puts it right at the charge time of an adaptive fusion rifle, just with way more power in the bolts, over 50 a bolt. So you can run around with a lightweight weapon or stay stationary with a ranged weapon, and when you come across an opponent or get pushed, you whip out your backup plan high impact fusion rifle that fires with the speed of an adaptive. Now you've got offhand strike rolling, and you can safely use this charge time sniper rifle to hit up to 24 meters from the hip. This is another really fun build, but it does feel slightly more of a meme than the first. The offhand strike and successful warm-up combo is extremely effective and really fun to get you moving faster and faster as you get going, but this one requires you to play the opposite direction, fast to slow, which I'm not as much of a fan of. But it leads me to my final perk combo to look out for. We can go fast to fast with this fusion. I'm not talking mid as reckoning, backup plan to successful warm-up. I'm talking backup plan back to your primary. Yes, that's right. This one goes out to all my primary users out there, and I think it's actually really strong. Forget everything I said about charge time earlier. Let's wipe the board. We'll still use extended barrel, but we're going to double down on backup plan and run accelerated coils and a charge time masterwork. With the other builds, we were using offhand strike for our follow-up shots, so we didn't want charge time messing up the damage. But with this build, only focusing on the one shot with backup plan, you can run all the charge time you can and it won't affect your 4 bolt one burst. Then, instead of offhand strike, we're going to run steady hands. This may seem counterintuitive since backup plan gives 100 handling, but steady hands gives you 8.5 seconds of 100 handling and a 0.825 times handling animation scaler for all your weapons. So the idea here is to swap to backup plan, get your super fast 4 bolt off with a charge time of only 616, that's almost as fast as successful warm up, and then have 100 handling and a snappy animation scaler to swap off your bulky fusion and onto a primary with harmony or cascade point. Then you can continue that loop because backup plan only has a 3.5 second cooldown, so once you're done with your primary and the 8.5 seconds of super fast handling there, you can swap back to your backup plan Wizened Rebuke and do the whole thing all over again. You'll have access to 100 handling the entire time on all your weapons. This role is definitely more difficult to use in practice than the other two. It's just not as natural to constantly be swapping between weapons and juggling when backup plan is ready for you, but it is a pretty cool build and something that no other weapon is capable of. The Trials fusion Burden of Guilt can also run steady hands, and so I'm looking to create a role that's similar with that weapon, but the 4 bolt backup plan on Wizened Rebuke is really cool, and it's definitely worth checking out if you have a Harmony or Cascade point roll on another weapon you're trying to get going. Let's hit some of the alternative perks because, let's face it, RNG is not always the best to us, and even if another fusion could do some of the basics better, you might not have a good Glacioclasm, Midas Reckoning, or Iota Draconis. In the 4th column, I don't feel like Fragile Focus is that great of a perk on high impacts. Not only can Glacioclasm reach that max range without even needing Fragile Focus, but Fragile Focus itself is tough on this long charge time because you're usually hit at least once while you're charging, and that gets rid of Fragile Focus. High Impact Reserves is really the one other perk I'd look out for in the 4th column if you just want a solid roll. It should make up for any charge time stuff you might have in your roll, and even outside of that will help you secure the 3 bolt against any resilience level. In the 3rd column, forget about shot swap. There is pretty much zero reason to ever want it since this charge time is so long, and with backup plan you'll get 100 handling anyways. Steady hands is the much better route. Forget about Iron Grip too, you really don't need that stability, and Under Pressure is the one you want if you're going for a really solid high impact. I won't knock anyone who wants to run Under Pressure and any of the good 4th column perks we talked about, Successful Warm-Up, Backup Plan, or High Impact Reserves. Under Pressure is just a great perk, and Under Pressure Backup Plan is a combo found here and nowhere else currently, so that is a really solid whip out and destroy fusion, but my top ones still remain the 3 builds I listed. I've got each of them listed in my Discord under Lego's crafting guides, with Offhand Strike and Successful Warmup being an S tier fusion. I'd rank it right up there with the best of them, specifically in 6s. Link is in the Discord for all the builds listed out. This has been Lego LaFlash. Until next time, GG.